The challenges would be I had to learn to turn off the laptop and go to bed. And there were so many nights my husband would say, "So I'm going to bed by myself again." It was because it was full steam ahead for me.
Yeah.
I knew this was my calling. As women, I mean, if you feel that you have called to something, you get excited. I didn't want to lose my family over this. So I think the balancing act of that would be the big piece that comes to my heart that I would share with other moms that are going
Yeah.
after their dreams is the family can't be left behind.
Welcome to the podcast where motherhood meets reinvention. I'm your host, Sharon Macey, and this is Mom to More. I'll be speaking with remarkable moms who have embraced the art of transformation, crafting their more by leveraging the skills they hone as stay-at-home moms. They'll share their experiences, struggles, and successes as they return to a former career, pursued a passion or hobby, or charted an entirely new path, giving you the clarity, motivation, and inspiration to help you answer the question, what do you want to do when your kids grow up? Before we jump in, feeling that itch for something more? I've got you. Grab my free guide, 6 Ways to Reinvent Yourself Beyond Motherhood at momtomore.com. It's fast, it's free, and yep, it's in the show notes too. Welcome back to a new episode of Mom to More. When I met our next guest, I realized that there are indeed angels around us. Terry Grahl is the founder, visionary, and CEO of Enchanted Makeovers, a national nonprofit based in Taylor, Michigan. Enchanted Makeovers is dedicated to transforming shelters for women and children into nurturing environments that foster hope, healing, and self-worth. And that is so beautiful. In her former life, Terry ran an award-winning interior design business, but it was back in 2006 when she was asked to paint one wall of a local shelter to improve the physical space, but realized these shelters needed much more than just paint. This proved to be life-changing for Terry. Feeling called to act, she closed her for-profit business and founded Enchanted Makeovers. Through her unique projects and programs, she has created a space for women and children in shelters to rebuild their lives. Terry's work has been recognized by many organizations. This is so fabulous, including goodtherapy.org, a global association of mental health professionals. Enchanted Makeovers' unique model was also featured in the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development website. And she was recognized as one of People Magazine's All-Stars Among Us and was honored at the 2010 All-Star Game after, get this, folks, 7,500 nominations and 1.7 million votes. Impressive. Terry received special video recognition from the singer Sheryl Crow, further highlighting the influence of her extraordinary nonprofit. She has appeared on the Kelly Clarkson Show, PBS, the Today Show, and various other news outlets and national magazines to raise awareness and share her mission. Terry, welcome to the show. I am so excited to chat with you today.
Thank you.
So I like to start all of my interviews with what I call my essential mom question. And that is, how many kids do you have? And sounds like you're raising them in Michigan.
Yes, I have 3 young adult boys and 1 daughter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
And they're all grown and flown, right?
Yes, I have an empty nest.
Oh,
Yep.
So do I. Isn't it nice? I'm liking these empty nest years. So let's rewind the clock a little and talk to me about, what did your stay-at-home mom years look like?
Well, I was working full time with my first child. And then when I became pregnant with my second, my mother said, "Isn't that great? So your sister's going to raise your children." And in that moment, I needed to I needed to, let go of my lease on my car and just cut back on things. And from there, I became a stay-at-home mom, the best decision of my life. I loved all the field trips, didn't miss a play. And it is the most, in my opinion, the most important job as a mother.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're raising the next generation of humans.
Yes.
It's an extraordinary job.
Absolutely.
Not easy. And we'll get into that as well.
Yeah.
So, when we spoke the first time, which we had a moment, obviously, that brought me to tears. We could talk about that later. But you had a personal transformative experience when you were a child that really set the groundwork for what you would ultimately become. Why don't you share that with our listeners?
Well, my family battled with homelessness. And I also battled with the bullying. That started from first grade until I finished high school. It was the sexual harassment, and I hated school, so I missed a lot of days. I always share with everyone that I come across or speak is that it might have started as a victim. I once was a survivor, but now I'm a warrior. And Sharon, you're a warrior too.
Thank you. I think all moms are warriors.
Yes.
Yeah, I think just by sheer act of becoming a mom, you become a warrior, whether you realize it or not. You have that fabulous label attached to you of mom warrior. So when we've also first talked, you shared a beautiful story of how your mom found the house that your family lived in. Could you share that? Because it's really incredible.
Yes, when we lost our home, my mother put all five of us in that big, huge brown station wagon.
With the wood siding. Yep, I remember
Yes.
those. Yeah.
And she just drove around the neighborhood until she found this house, and it was abandoned. Weeds up to her waist and tires in the front yard. And she went next door to the church and said, "Who owns it?" And they said, "Well, the deacons used to live in there." And she said, "You think that if I put a little deposit down and started making small payments, that one day I could own it?" And they're like, "Sure." So we moved in, and she just started with oopsie paint and clearance wallpaper, and she had that little do-rag that she'd always wear. I come home from school and I'm like, "Where's the wall, Mom?" "Well, we didn't need it." She knocked it down, and I realized as an adult, she was transforming herself. It wasn't just home that she was working on. And we got to witness that, and the power of creativity and how she could take a curbside piece of trash and turn it into something beautiful for a home.
That and also what you just said about that she transformed herself by transforming the house.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
powerful. Yeah. Okay. So Terry, take us back to that moment when you realized that you needed to pivot and change course. And in doing so, you gave up a successful for-profit interior design business.
I would say that moment of saying no to the for-profit and yes to the nonprofit would absolutely have to be when I visited the first shelter to hopefully, if I was going to paint one wall, take before pictures, and went home. And at that time, it was the camera. We weren't using our cell phone to take a bunch of pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of ages us, but
a real camera, yes. With
so,
film you had to develop. Yeah.
yes. So I downloaded the photos, and there on that stained mattress, the walls there was duct tape on the walls, and two pillows, one pillow without pillowcase, and there it was, polka dots. I've loved polka dots since I was a little girl. And when I saw the polka dots, I heard, "Trust me." And in that moment, I raised my right hand and I said, "I'll do it." That right there was that big moment that my life was going to change in ways I could ever imagine.
I love that. I love that, Terry. Hey, you know what? We are going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to dive deeper into your mission. Don't go away. And now a quick word from my sponsor, Ally Shoes. I got to tell you, these are some of the most comfortable shoes I have ever worn. They're designed by women, for women, like finally, right? And engineered with perfectly placed padding, so I can literally wear these all day. And I cannot say that for other brands I've worn. And I'm not the only one giving positive reviews. InStyle, Business Insider, and CNN are all saying the same thing. Oh, and they have a really cool origin story as well. So flats, heels, boots, you name it, they have it. Ally is letting me share the love with all of you. Head on over to Ally, that's ALLY.NYC, where new customers and listeners of the pod will get $40 off your first pair of heels. All their heels, like Classic, Kitten, Bold Block, Sexy Slingbacks, with special code MOMTOMORE40, and 10% off your first pair of boots and flats, so 10% off of each, with special code MOMTOMORE10. Ally is reimagining how comfort and function support women every day. And I love that. Thanks to Ally for sponsoring this episode. We are back. Okay, Terry, you've said that your mission is more than a makeover, that it is about dignity and hope and transformation. What does that mean to you personally?
I think all of us want to feel precious. I feel I've been called to serve the little girl from within. I still feel that way 17 years later. I don't know. It's how my mother loved her children, and I want to bring all of that to the women and children and love people back to life.
And you are so paying it forward in such a beautiful way. You're paying forward your mom's legacy in what you're doing now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so how does your work educate and empower the residents of these shelters?
We have our sacred sewing room program,
Mhm.
and it's a permanent sewing room in the shelter. We do not donate sewing machines. We donate a program. And that was because of my mother. My mother sewed everything for us. So she could turn sheets into these beautiful pajamas to curtains. And it was just one day she shared how a sewing machine saved her life. And I said, "What do you mean, Mom?" And she said, "Well, when I sew, I escape. There's nothing around. I don't feel, there's no worries. I don't care about the dirty dishes in the sink. I am focused on that one project, and it is my voice too that I'm sharing."
Oh, that's
And
fantastic.
Mom, I have to have sacred sewing rooms and shelters. And that's how that began.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yep.
fantastic. So in starting a new venture, right, you went from the for-profit world to the nonprofit world. So what challenges did you face as a mom turned founder, and how did you overcome your personal trepidations?
The one that stands out to me right now, I had to learn that to turn off the laptop and go to bed. And there were so many nights my husband would say, "So I'm going to bed by myself again."
Mm.
And I know people say, "Well, that's not," yes, it was, because it was full steam ahead for me.
Yeah.
I knew this was my calling, and um, my kids didn't go without, but that was that thing of, okay, you've got to shut this off at this time, and you can start back up at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock the next day. It was just that balancing of, yes, we as women, I mean, if you feel that you have called to something, you get excited. You kind of
Yes.
like, oh, forget about that. Let's just do that. And I didn't want to lose my family over this. So I think the balancing act of that would be the big piece that comes to my heart that I would share with other moms that are going
Yeah.
after their dreams, is the family can't be left behind.
Or the husband. Can't leave them behind.
Yes,
But I
exactly. The husband.
understand the idea, like in doing what I'm doing, I have so much energy when it comes to staying up late and working on episodes and writing, and I get that. And
Mhm.
yes, I'm very aware because my husband has said the same thing. So I am very aware of that work-life balance. Right. But for so many years, I didn't have that work, right? Because I was doing the mom thing, even though it was work. It was just work at home. All right. So let's talk about your programs, because you talked about the sewing room, but you have other. So you have the Sacred Sewing Room, and you have Capes for Kids. They're so intentional, which is fabulous. So where do these ideas come from, and what impact have you seen firsthand?
The Case for Kids, that started me just watching the news years ago. And a mother was sharing with her son, "Give it up. No one's going to come here and save us."
Mhm.
In that moment, I realized, how can a mother give her son hope if she doesn't have hope?
Mhm.
And instantly I saw her son as, he's the superhero. He has everything within him. So the tears started. But then in that moment, I said to myself, what are tears if there's no action?
Yeah.
So I reached out on social media and I said, "Can somebody please make 25 capes?" And a woman from North Carolina, she emailed me back. She said, "I'll make them." They traveled back to here in Detroit. And I just went to my local shelter to see the kids' reaction, and they came to life. They started singing and twirling. The mothers put the capes on. And in that moment, I said, this has to be one of our programs. It's way beyond the fabric. It's a tool, an armor for something so much greater, because
Mm.
obviously the children are eventually going to take the cape off. But I want every child to know that you truly do have everything within you. And that includes, I've noticed some of the children have shared, where's my mom's cape? And like I said, if the moms want, I witnessed myself, a child was afraid to put the cape on. And I don't know if it was the age, I'm not sure, but the mom put the cape on and she ran down the hall to share her child with that message with her child. And I never forgot that. And her son did eventually put the cape on, but what a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
Oh,
That the mom was empowering her child.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I love that. I want to backtrack a little and talk about mom skills, because obviously during your years as a stay-at-home mom and then transitioning, creating this nonprofit, let's talk about some of the mom skills that you fine-tuned while you were doing the mom thing and how those have translated into what you're doing now.
I would say there's three. The first thing is I love to plan. I love to plan. I love to organize. And organizing is part of the planning.
Mm-hmm.
And my home when my kids growing up was all about grandma's treasures, handmade. All those pieces are all like part of Enchanted Makeovers. I mean, just the balancing of the bills and making those phone calls to say, can you can you do a little less on that? Well, that's no different than us calling and asking a donor,
Sure.
can you do instead of donating 2, maybe donate 3? It's all that negotiating.
Sure.
That's part of the mission.
Huge
And I
mom
did
skill.
it with my family. Yes.
Terrific. All right. So we've got that. Those are great. Thank you. So I'm curious, are your kids involved with this as well?
All my kids have volunteered. Todd, he's my third son. He huge about volunteering. I mean, I remember at 9 years old scraping ceilings and prepping them, being ready to paint. And then he traveled with me as he got
Nice.
his license. He's like, Mom, I can drive you to the speaking event. So yeah, they all have been involved. I have to share this moment. It's very funny. So we had these brand new bras that came in. Now that's not something we collect, but they did arrive. And I thought, it'd be nice to have a heart placed on them, like the Raggedy Ann.
Right.
And it says you're brave. Just
Oh, I
something
love that.
day.
Yeah.
They arrived, and my son, he goes, Mom, are these slingshots?
Okay, clearly he's never seen a bra before, but yeah.
I don't know why they came up, but I just think it's just, they've all been a part of everything. So,
Well, yeah, you've got girls in the house. It's just, it is what it is. Yeah. But I love the idea of having a little heart on them. That's really
yes,
sweet. Yeah.
yes.
And that, this sort of leads me into my next question, which was, what do you hope that every mom listening today understands about the power of her own gifts, even if she's not sure what they are yet?
I have to say to that mom, you don't have to have all the answers right now.
No.
That's the first thing I have to share. There's so much more greatness that's in the future for you. Because your children, yes, we want them all to fly out of the nest. That's the greatest thing.
That's our job. We raise them. We give them
Yes,
wings. Yeah.
yes. The thing is when people say, I found my purpose, I never found my purpose. I discovered it. I discovered my purpose, yes. And it was every little step I kind of grew into who I truly was.
Right. And that
Yes.
goes back
It
to
was
what I
all
like to
baby
tell mom.
steps.
Exactly.
Yes.
You don't jump off, a cliff. You take these tiny little baby steps and they ultimately get you to what you are going to discover about yourself,
Yes.
what you're going to become, and what you are ultimately going to be giving back to the world.
People have said, well, you had your decorating business. That was a waste of time. I said, no, it was a stepping stone for something greater. Nothing was ever wasted. So to the mom that's always the organizing to bring in all the baked goods to the school, you just don't know what that organization, just that leading, that love that you're providing to the class.
And even for that mom baking those cookies, she never knows maybe where those baking skills could potentially take her one day.
Absolutely. Nothing is I was full 100% taking care of my children, making the home beautiful and love in every little detail, never thinking that I would get a call to say, will you just paint a wall at a shelter for women
Yeah.
and children? So keep loving your children, take care of your children. This is how it worked for me. I have no special little ingredients I can give you. This is how it happened.
Right. I think the special ingredient is you do what you do every single day,
Yes.
but make note of it, because everything you do, whether it's baking cookies for a bake sale or you're on the committee to get a new playground for the elementary school, that's project management. I mean, or
Yes.
you're helping a nonprofit raise money, that's fundraising. I mean, there are
Yes.
so, and write those down, because we tend to forget over the years what we have done. And
Yes.
so if people keep a notes app open on your phone, right, and just write down these things, and you can reflect upon them later, and that can help you discover what your next chapter could be.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I remember telling my husband, guess what? This is the last diaper we have to buy.
It's like, oh, thank God. Right?
The diaper stage is done. And I want to share with the moms out there. I know you're in that moment right now of bathing and getting to bed, and it's all these. I'm older now, but it goes so fast.
It
It
does.
goes so. I still remember my boys just on that tricycle.
And that was
It
just
feels
like,
like it
what,
was.
a week last week, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes. And I know when my sister would say, "Oh, because my sister's kids are older, they were teenagers. Mine were little." And she would say, "Oh, wait till they're teenagers." But I'm in that moment right now of just being their toddlers. So I respect that, mothers,
Mhm.
that because you kind of feel like when someone says that is like they're not really understanding it. But this is now. This
Yeah.
is all I
Yeah.
know right now.
Well, as they say,
So
the days go slow, but the years go fast, right?
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes,
So, Terry, as if everything that you're doing now and all the goodness that you're giving back to the world isn't enough, you have written 2 children's books.
yes. My
And
third's
so,
out this month.
oh my gosh, yes. So how do these tie into your larger mission?
Well, it's the little bear who loved its handmade dolls, and that's our
Okay.
doll adoption program. And it's all handmade dolls. You can make your favorite pattern. Just have fun and be creative. Then we have our capes for kids, and that's
Right.
the little bluebird who forgot it could fly.
Okay.
Now we know blue birds can fly, but this bird forgot it could. So it's just a reminder as moms and grandmas and grandpas are reading this book to their child that again, you have everything within you. But
Hmm.
at the end of the book, it shares that this actually is a program for children in shelters, and we hope you would take action and make a cape because we have a sew pattern and a no sew.
Hmm.
Our youngest volunteer was 1 years old. Of course, her mother helped her make a cape,
Sure.
and our oldest has been 99.
Oh, I love
So
that.
all ages can make a
All
cape.
ages. Yeah.
Yes. And the third coming out this month is a little porcupine in its traveling pillowcase.
Oh, that's the
So
pillowcase program. Yeah.
yes, and that
So,
that is not about the travel size because we've gotten those.
right.
That is about me at 9 years old laying my head down at night, and that fear came is are we going to are we where are we going next? Where are we going to live next? And I
Yeah.
realized in that moment I can travel anywhere I want. It was the power of my mind. That's what that's about is it's not let many people talk about that, especially not in shelters.
Sure.
So I want every mother and her child to know that it's a survival skill,
Hmm.
and that pillowcase is just a reminder.
Right. And
Yes,
that's something that's theirs and they can take with them if they have to move to another shelter.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
again, the book is just it's awareness, and hopefully you take action, make a pillowcase.
Oh, I love that. So, what's next for Enchanted Makeovers, and how can our community get involved and support you?
What's next is well, I have some product lines that are going to be coming out with businesses that I've
Okay.
partnered with. Polyfill has partnered with us.
Oh,
And if you make anything with stuffing, you know that they are the number one. They are it, Polyfill. So that's going to be in Hobby Lobby nationwide. We're looking at summer this year. And the back of the bags will be the doll adoption program.
I love that.
Yes. And then Country Chic has partnered with us. They're out of Canada, but they're international. And I said, let's collaborate. So they named a paint Little Bluebird, and that is about the book. So they're not only sharing awareness, they're raising funds for us. And I have another big one, but this one's pretty big, but I can't share it. But that will go with the little porcupine.
Gotcha. Okay, we can't do any spoilers right yet.
No, I can't.
Okay, no worries. I think that's great.
I want the moms to know I was lucky if I passed with a C, that was so great for me. Because I had a learning disability in school. And of course I hated school. I'm telling you that I would never think that 9-year-old that was so shy to speak up or even say anything would be here today.
And you have so much to say. And you've said it on some really big platforms as well. So congratulations on that.
And that was my thing, Sharon. That was my prayer in the beginning. I said, give me a voice so I can be a voice for others.
So
that
nice.
was yes.
I love that. So Terry, unfortunately, our time is drawing to a close. I have 2 more questions for you. The first one is a question that I have the privilege of asking all of my amazing moms that I get to interview. And that is, since this is the Mom to More podcast, Terry Grahl, what is your more?
The more for me is I will write my own book. And it will be all this journey from past 17 years. And I will share my story. My story needs to be heard now.
It does. Oh my gosh, it does. Oh, I love that. So you have your inner author is starting to come out.
I have files. I've kept files.
Okay.
I did.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So Terry, please tell our listeners where everyone can find you online. We will have links to everything in the show notes.
EnchantedMakeovers.org is the website. We're on Instagram, of course, Enchanted Makeovers, and Facebook.
Okay, all Enchanted Makeovers.
Yep.
All right, fantastic. Oh, Terry, I'm so honored that I've had the privilege of meeting you and learning about the work that you do and how you give back in such a beautiful and inspiring way. So thank you for all you are doing for these children who need you so much, for the kids and the mothers who need you so much. Thank you for what you're doing in giving back and making this world a better place.
I'm so grateful for the village that supports us, because it takes all of us to make this happen.
I'd like to read another 5-star review, this one from Sapna. And she wrote, as I move into this next chapter of my life, this podcast has been a lifesaver. It is a must listen for moms. Well, thank you so much for those kind words. And if y'all keep writing those 5-star reviews, I'll keep reading them. Before I sign off, a quick favor. Following the Mom to More pod means you'll never miss an episode, and it really helps the show to grow. And if you'd be willing to leave a 5-star rating and review and share an episode with another mom, I'd be super grateful and appreciate your support.